All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hotfix Podcast, episode 26. And today we're joined with these two fine gentlemen from Gamerized, a social media gaming platform.
It's like a platform for gaming, streaming, content creation, music. There's probably some cooking and some writing stuff in there somewhere as well. It's a little bit of everything, but I'm super excited.
Welcome to Hotfix, the weekly podcast that dives into the fascinating world of streaming, gaming, and esports. With your hosts, Brant Vladichuk and Jeremy Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hotfix Podcast, episode number 26. Today we are joined by Max and Ryan from Gamerized. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation with us. Ryan, why don't we start with you? Do you want to introduce yourself, who you are, what you are, why people should be excited about you as a person? Say hello to your mom if you want to, all that kind of stuff, and just let the people know what's going on.
My name's Ryan Miller. I'm the CEO at Gamerized LLC, and I'm technically a human being. So that's who I am and what I am.
Amazing.
Just kidding with you. But thank you guys for having me on the show, and I appreciate the viewers taking their time watching this episode.
Of course, Max.
All right, yeah, so I am Max Kidder. I am the music director for Gamerized, and I run the music side of the platform. And hi, Mom.
Blessed, truly blessed.
Shout out to Max's mom.
Honestly. So the very first thing I wanted to ask, and this is more of like a personal question, just where I was kind of handling the social media and just kind of our contact before we started doing this whole thing. How many people do you guys have on staff? Because there's the music guy, there's the CEO guy, there's the marketing guy, there's the PR guy.
It's been a lot of people.
There's a lot of guys.
Right now, we accumulatively have around 9 people.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. I think I spoke with all of them.
Probably.
No, but in all seriousness, it was kind of interesting to be contacted by so many different people, because it kind of shows that you guys, if you guys have 9 people, it seems like you have 9 people who are genuinely passionate about Gamerized becoming a thing, right? Like, all jokes aside, you know what I mean? Like, it's actually really cool to be like, you know, let's just let Ryan handle it, and we'll just we'll wear the music guy title, but whatever. Ryan's going to do the whole thing, which is a lot of like that happens in way too many companies, right? So it was actually really cool, and it was actually nice to speak with everybody. Ryan, so you're the creator, the founder, the CEO, whatever you want to call it, of Gamerized. Do you kind of want to just give the quick elevator pitch? You meet someone in the lobby. What is Gamerized?
Gamerized is a social network exclusively built for the gaming and music industry to bridge the gap between artists and gamers, allowing them to safely socialize, monetize, and connect with industry leaders. Second floor, please.
It's almost like you've said that before.
A few times.
Okay, so it's the idea is for gamers and artists. By artists, I'm assuming you mean musicians, correct?
Yes.
To find an easy route or an easy place and a safe place, like you said, to connect and converse and be able to scratch each other's back, if you will. Like, is that kind of the mentality? You know, because, you know, if to reach out to a musician on something like, I don't know, a SoundCloud or something like that, like there's the like something like a Twitch and something like a SoundCloud doesn't really interconnect very well. Like they're very much two silos of the creative industry, right? So the idea is to kind of bring those things together. With Gamerized as a social platform, is the idea for, you know, I have a certain vibe on my Twitch channel, and I want music that's going to suit that Twitch channel. Therefore, I can go to Gamerize, look through the music, easily contact the user who created that music, and be able to use it or make some kind of arrangement. Like, is that kind of the idea?
All the music on our platform is copyright free. It's kind of our initiative to provide copyright free music towards live streams. With the artists uploading music, they're able to sell it, but they're also able to provide it for free. So with that in mind, these individuals can use the free music, but if they want to have additional beats that's custom made, they can reach out to the artist and they will be able to set the prices. We don't dictate that. That's between the artist and the gamer.
For sure. Yeah, we seen when we were floating around the website before the podcast, we seen that there is an option to buy the music, right? Like it's the 99 cents or whatever it may be. Do you guys want to speak on like how that works? Like, is that part of the monetization strategy for Gamerize as a company? Like, how does that work for the artist? Someone buying their music, like what's the idea behind that?
I'll let Max take this, and this is.
Yeah, so we don't take a cut of the artists selling the music. Whatever they sell it for, they choose their own prices, and whatever they sell, they keep. So that was part of our initial kind of way to give something back to the artist. And so the goal is really to have a place where artists can connect with gamers and streamers and make those connections and tap into the direct, kind of user base that we've already built with Gamerized. Mm-hmm. But then it's also a place for them to connect with other artists and producers and beat makers and, kind of musicians in general. So we kind of want to take the best of every platform and put that into what Gamerized music is. And so we have a lot of really cool stuff planned for the future, and we think we can make it probably the best place for an artist to be.
So the best place for an artist to be in terms of access to, to spins, or the best place for artists to be for access to other like-minded people, like you said, the producers and the beat makers and the lyricists, and you find a guitar player, or you find a DJ, or you find a singer, whatever it may be. Like, what's the perfect scenario for the music side of Gamerized?
Yeah, so we've actually brought on a partner who runs a label and has his own publishing company. So we want to offer artists access to publishing deals, and we have a partnership with, iHeartRadio. And so we want to give artists access to be able to get their music on the radio, get publishing deals. We're currently working on developing what we think is going to be the best royalty system in the industry. So yes, it's everything you said is what we would like to accomplish.
So is this more geared towards music in general? So not just geared towards music for, say, having copyright-free music in your stream, but for like actual like music distribution in general?
Yeah, so we're actually working as well to become a DSP. And so that way when people distribute their music, just like it automatically gets placed on Spotify or it automatically gets placed in Apple Music, we want to give artists the ability for their music to be automatically placed on Gamerized when they distribute it. Mm-hmm. So no, we don't want to. We started off that way, but that's not the long-term goal for Gamerized music. We want to be a DSP, a digital service provider. We want to be a place where people want to put their music.
Right. So it's like you said, you have partnerships with various labels and something like an iHeartRadio, whatever it may be. So it's kind of like Brant and I are both musicians, and we've like both made a crack at making that a career kind of thing, and so we're well aware that there's a lot of I don't want to say middleman. There's middlemen, many middlemen before you can reach an iHeartRadio or you can reach the actual good label or the distributor. Like there's 1,000 people you have to go through before you actually even get your file on the desk, if you will. So the idea of Gamerized is that the PR guys or the agents or whatever you want to say for the label or for iHeartRadio can be on Gamerized, and it's more of a direct link to them as opposed to, well, you have to go through this person who knows this person, and just because this person is friends with the guy at iHeartRadio, that's how you need to make the connection.
Yeah, no. So our partnerships, we have direct links, and like our iHeartRadio partner is actually part of our team. He's part of our daily team. The guy who runs the publishing company, he's part of our daily team. They are both invested as much as me and Ryan are at making Gamerized succeed. So with that comes a lot of really good opportunities for artists, because these guys want to see the platform succeed, and they're heavily invested in having artists succeed as well. And so it becomes this great unifying kind of platform where everybody can succeed, really, is the ultimate goal. Because I know what it's like to be an independent artist and all the, kind of BS you have to go through in order to get anywhere. And so we really want to eliminate a lot of that and give people access to the things that they should have access to without, like you said, having to go to somebody's cousin's mom's brother's best friend in order to get there.
For sure. So, I mean, you may have just kind of answered the question that I was going to ask, but where are the flaws in the current system that allows for something like Gamerized to succeed?
So Gamerized music in itself was born out of the copyright strikes and bans that happened on Twitch.
Right.
That's what kind of birthed Gamerized music, because we felt that we could fill a void. Independent artists want their music heard. Streamers need music to play.
Right.
So we felt like we could build a platform that served both purposes and gave artists access to people they traditionally don't have access to unless they are just DMing streamers all day and saying, hey, will you play my music?
Right. I got you.
And put it on the platform. Streamers can pick and choose, build playlists, and play the music.
And I guess with your whole platform being all copyright free, then it's not like I'll go on Spotify and, well, I hope this is copyright free, or unless someone blatantly says in their playlist that it is copyright free, then you like hope that it actually is, and you're just kind of it's a little bit of a crapshoot, right?
Yeah, definitely it is. And that's one of the good things about our platform and our publishing partner. So, we get the proper licenses and clearances and all of that stuff from the artists on the platform. Every artist is vetted before they become an artist on Gamerized. So we make sure that they're uploading 100% original content. So, we don't have somebody uploading a playlist from a well-known artist and then a streamer uses that and then they get in trouble and it's all our fault. So we definitely make sure that everybody's uploading original content, and we get all the proper, kind of back end stuff done as well that allows us to do that. So
is it restricted then to, like, I guess it would have to be restricted to unsigned artists, right? Like if someone signs with Universal, then their music is going to be copyrighted.
Yeah,
right?
Well, and technically everybody's music is copyrighted, right? Like as soon as you write something, it's technically a copyright. Yes. So
I guess the argument is like DCMA. Everything has a copyright, but just not getting DCMA.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're signed with one of the big three, Sony, Warner, Universal, then yeah. So, but if you're an independent artist, like you could be super famous and still be an independent artist and own everything, and still give everyone access to use your music on stream. Mm-hmm. There's a few major artists who do that, or they make music specifically for streamers because they also game as well, so they understand. Mm-hmm. And so, as far as major artists goes, that's kind of who we would like to target, is people who understand the struggle of streamers not having access to music and want to get involved in that. And so,
and okay. Go ahead. Let's just say, hypothetically, I've put together an 8-song epic metal album for streamers, completely DCMA free. Just say, hypothetically, I've done that and I'm planning to release that. What benefits would I have to go through Gamerize and not a traditional method like DistroKid or Amuse or CD Baby, those platforms?
Yeah. And we actually want to become part of that system to make it easier for everybody. So that way you can release it everywhere and we just become part of that. But I mean, some of the things that we offer that like SoundCloud or Spotify doesn't offer is access to the radio, access to the publishing deals, access to our entire user base, basically. I mean, and all of the promotion that we do as well for artists that you're not going to get promotion from Spotify. Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to make a Twitter post and an audio video and everything and get their entire community to help push your music. Mm-hmm. So, these are kind of the things that we try to do. We want to help in any way we can. If anybody has any ideas or anything that they would like done, we're usually pretty good if it's within our realm of possibility of making that happen.
Cool. Do you have like just a ballpark timeline of like when, say I distribute through CD Baby or any of the other distributors, when that would be available on Gamerize? Like, when is that?
Yeah, so we're working with the publishing company that we have to really nail out a proper royalty rate for everyone. And then once we have that lined up, then we're going to approach, like Merlin to make us a DSP and get us in the hands of all the distributors.
So you would be one of the platforms that when they go through that distributor, they end up on Gamerize just as well as they end up on whatever else it may be.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. You had mentioned, the idea of, they get access to your user base and you get, there's potential, I guess, if they make it through the proper vetting or, there's something that whoever the decision makers are really like, that they'll get a chance to be highlighted on a Twitter post, which will never happen in Spotify, which you're right. What can we talk user base? Like, is that something that like is that it's okay, it's great you have access to the user base, but it's like the four of us? Or are we looking at something where like, Gamerize is definitely growing, like there is an interest in this platform, this idea is working because stat, like, is that a thing that exists?
Yeah, and Ryan can speak more on the numbers side of everything for sure.
Yeah.
So we launched our platform in March, and from there we've accumulated over 1,000 users, and with a retention rate of 62%.
So can you just repeat the numbers? It kind of crackled there.
Since March, we've had over 14,000 users registered. Oh, wow. And we've had a 62% retention rate.
I did not realize that you started this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's kind of crazy.
That's really crazy. Awesome. So that kind of gives you some kind of idea that what you're like, there's at least a market for something different, right? Because people, we've spoken with a couple other companies that are trying to do some things different. as well, and it's very obvious that there's a market not just in streaming but in music and in video and in producing and content creation just as a whole, I suppose, for something outside of YouTube, Twitch, Spotify.
Yeah.
There's something.
There's definitely
there's room.
something that needs to happen for content creators and music.
Yeah.
Gamers and music, because the DCMA shit show is
Well, it's wild.
terrible.
I used to, when I first started my Twitch channel, the idea was like I love rock and roll. I love everything about the music, about the aesthetic, the idea behind it, like punk rock, I really, really adore all that kind of stuff. So when I first started my Twitch channel, I was like, man, I'd love to be just like someone that just like can talk on that culture and can show people these new dope rock and roll or punk bands or whatever it may be, and we can build a community of like-minded people that also love. I want to meet kids that love Jimmy Page. I want to meet people like this 13-year-old that just heard Van Halen is like, dude, that's that 1984 album is insane. I would love to meet these people. But I can't play the music because it's like, okay, I'm just gonna I'm risking losing my channel entirely.
Yeah.
So it actually forces certain types of content creation. It makes it impossible.
Yeah.
You can't I understand playing devil's advocate for a second. I understand that. Okay, this is copywritten and it's owned by these people and they deserve to make money if you're making money off of their thing. That absolutely does make sense. But, and I don't claim to have the solution to that, but there just needs to be the ground needs to be broken or something needs to happen there.
Something needs to change.
Yes, something needs to change for people to be like, dude, I'm not trying to say I wrote the 1984 album by Van Halen. I'm just trying to say, yo, 13-year-old dude from Sweden, you should listen to this because it's super dope. You should maybe you'll really enjoy this, and maybe that's isn't that what music's supposed to be all about? It's just you find something you love and you meet like-minded people that love the same kind of music, and people have been having conversations about that for 100 years. That's supposed to be what it is, right?
Yeah, definitely. And Twitch has definitely come down hard on people when it comes to stuff like that. If you're not making 100% original music on the music side of Twitch, then you are subject to get shut down. And I know that they're working on some type of blanket license agreement with the major labels, but what that turns into and what people will actually be able to do is still kind of a mystery to everybody. So
It's still I find it crazy that you can't have background music. I understand the quote unquote radio channels that just blatantly rebroadcast music. Yeah, those shouldn't exist. But in the background while I'm gaming, you can get your channel shut down. That whole part.
And Facebook just did the same thing as well. You can no longer.
They went hard on that, eh?
Yeah, you can't even if you guys make a music video tomorrow, come October 1st, you can't upload it to Facebook anymore.
It's insane, dude. I mean, Facebook
can't upload your own music video.
No, you can't upload any music to Facebook anymore starting October 1st.
Facebook's lost the plot, man. They've gone down a weird. I mean, they've been on a weird road for a long time, I suppose. But that's just friggin' wild, dude. It's so strange.
It's great for us, though. It's great
I
for
suppose,
Gamerite,
yeah. Fair enough.
If they don't want to let people be creative and put their music on the internet, then we will. Yeah. We don't have a problem with it. Come put your music with us. We're totally cool with it. So
honestly, and like you said, people are getting to keep you're working on a royalty thing, and people get to keep 100% of what they charge for the song itself if someone wants to buy it. I mean, the reasons to go there, just based off what you guys are saying, it seems like why especially if you're part of the distribution chain, right? If you're you go through a DistroKid or a CD Baby, and it goes on Spotify and it goes on Apple Music and it also goes on Gamerized, and it's hell,
Yeah.
Like, of course.
And
Like, why the hell
they'll
not?
see that Gamerize will be pumping out more revenue for them, and they'll be basically it'll work in our favor.
Well, and that's where word of
That's-
mouth comes into play, right? That's when you get,
Yeah.
you know, you get your friend that, yo, dude, I actually ended up with like this weird check from Gamerize that like maybe they didn't even really know about. It was just part of like the package that came with whoever they went for distro, and
Just clicked the Gamerize box. in
Exactly.
DistroKid or whatever.
yeah, and then they're like, oh shit, like I actually got more off of that than anything else, and then they tell their artist friends, and their artist friends
Yeah.
tell their artist friends, and that's like
Because that's a huge problem with artists and Spotify. Because Spotify is a notoriously low payment per play.
yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's ridiculous.
Where
that's
do you
what-
think? Sorry, go ahead.
That's why we're revolutionizing the way artists get paid.
Which is, I mean, that's a very key sentence, isn't it? Why do you think the DMCA thing became such an issue? Like Max, you're in the music industry somehow, right? Where do you think that came from? Like, why did that become such a big issue in the last year?
So it really came from, COVID and everybody being at home. And there was just such a large influx of people who decided that they were going to become streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Because pre-COVID-19, this was never an issue. There were no DMCA complaints. It's been in Twitch's terms of service since they launched day one that you're not allowed to use other people's music in your stream. But the major labels and the RIAA didn't really care because it was like, oh, there's, only this many people doing it. And then coronavirus happens and 1 million more people are stuck at home and half of them become streamers. And now it's, well, everybody's streaming this music.
Gotcha.
And so now we feel like we need to do something about it.
So then the labels kind of cracked down? Like the labels would have reached out to Twitch and be like, yo, you're playing Whitney Houston and we own that.
Yeah.
So
So it was the major three. It was Sony, Warner, and Universal, and then the Recording Industry of America that basically sent Twitch a letter that said, hey, we are going to be handing out copyright strikes and DMCA complaints to everybody who plays any copyrighted music on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in the background, it's in the forefront, you're mixing it in a DJ set, like it doesn't matter. If you play a Drake song on Twitch, you're going to get shut down.
Yeah.
Or it plays
the Eagles on Twitch, you're going to get shut down.
My favorite ones are when it's like playing through like a PA system, like in the background of the background of someone's stream, and they get fucking
that happened to someone who was they were doing like a IRL stream, and they were like driving in their car, and a song came on the radio, and they got their channel banned, or they got like a strike against it.
Someone is in a mall, and it's playing the music in the fucking mall, and they get struck for that.
It's like
that's crazy.
That's where we talk about like my example of why when I first started streaming is a very small example, but that's other examples of like and like the DJ set thing is something I never even thought about. It's like, yo, what if like someone like actually wants to put up DJ sets for their Twitch channel? That's what they do, and they're insanely good at mixing these songs together, but now they can't. So that you just ruined that person's career. That person can't make content anymore because you can't post on YouTube either.
And you can't post it on Facebook anymore either now.
That's right, yeah. So like it's almost just being like, I want to be a DJ, but I want to be an internet DJ, and they're like, no, that's not a career we allow.
Basically,
it's like, wait, what?
Unless you don't mix songs, unless you do an all original mix.
Yeah,
for sure. But like especially like you talk about the COVID thing, like the people who love going out to like clubs and listening to like dance music DJs that mix these songs together, and like maybe they're having a small gathering at their apartment. And they want to put on this Twitch DJ they found that actually puts together these great sets, but they can't do that anymore because, there's going to be a Drake song. There's going to be friggin' Nicki Minaj or some shit. Yeah. And then they're just like going to get everything shut down. It's like, all right, well, I fuck me then, I guess.
Yeah. Basically the only place that you can do something like that is Mixcloud Live. And it's a paid platform. So you have to pay to use it.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
But that's about the only place, now that Facebook's gone, that's about the only place I know of where you can do something like that.
That's
as
crazy.
far as DJing goes.
It's sad. Like I said, hopefully, like this is, like you said, the idea is, you guys are trying to kind of change that game, and I think there's a gigantic market for people to be able to capitalize on a platform like what you guys are doing. Switching off the music thing, if we talk about that was like that was kind of the artist, the musician side of things. If we want to talk about the streaming side of things, Ryan, can we maybe get into how do you envision a streamer using Gamerized? I get the mute, like we get the it's there. If you want to find non-copyright music, you want to reach out to artists. We get that side of it for sure, but outside of the music part of things, how do you what's the allure of Gamerized for a gamer, a streamer, a content creator, that kind of thing?
Currently, what we do is allowing gamers or streamers to broadcast their Twitch directly inside the newsfeed. This hasn't been done before, and whenever you go to Twitter and put a Twitch link, it shows up as a hyperlink.
Mm-hmm.
With Gamerize, it's a live broadcast within the newsfeed of your followers. So as they scroll down, they'll be able to watch your live stream directly on their newsfeed. They'll follow you, subscribe to you, and be able to chat to you on Twitch from your original on my gaming or on Gamerize.
Okay, so you have some sort of I would assume you have some sort of API integration. So from your feed, you can actually click the follow button and view the chat and interact with chat. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So we
That's
work
pretty cool.
directly with Twitch. We've been doing that for a while now, and the point of contact that I have, his name is Daniel. He's an awesome guy, up-spirited, and he's always like, "Hey Ryan, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah, and I basically help him understand what the Gamerized vision is, and he's actually really keen about it. He's hyped about it. He's like, "That's awesome," and he's assured me that the way that the codes, nothing will ever get suspended from, because we are working with them directly to ensure that nobody isn't going to get their affiliate or partnership. They'll be able to do that with our platform.
Right, because there is a thing with the affiliate and the partner platform where it's like, you have to stream on Twitch. If you stream on any other platform, you can lose your status or whatever, right?
Yep.
So you guys have an agreement that if it gets broadcasted to Gamerized, and like Brent said, through the API, people can technically watch your Twitch stream without ever leaving the Gamerized platform. You guys have something in place where there's not a risk there. That's totally fine.
Yep.
We've
got proven emails
awesome.
that they basically said it's okay to do it the way that we.
Mm-hmm. So then this almost gets into a discoverability conversation, doesn't it? This turns into Twitch is horrible at letting new people be discovered. So something like a Gamerized, if you're able to build a following through Gamerized, or you can, front page things or promotions, whatever it may be, if you're able to get eyes on you through Gamerized, now you're getting it through Twitch and through Gamerized. And if Gamerized does discoverability better than what Twitch does it, then you're kind of getting two birds stoned at once, right?
Yep. So let's say that you're streaming. You post it on Gamerise. I'm scrolling down my news feed. I see that you're streaming. I reshare it to my follower. So now everyone in my followers see your live stream, and it's a continuous cycle. So if your original post with your live broadcast goes viral, you can easily land 10, 15, 100 million views.
That's actually kind of cool. So to use the retweet word, just because it's what everyone would be familiar with. If I'm on Gamerise and I retweet your live stream, then on my feed they'll also get the live broadcast.
But
Just-
not just a thumbnail with a link, but the actual
broadcast.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a full video player.
Yeah.
That's
On your
actually
feed.
super sick. And from that they can follow you on Twitch and they can subscribe and they can chat in your Twitch channel from there.
Yeah, there's a chat box that pops up. You can see the entire chat just like on Twitch.
I need to see that in action. That sounds friggin' awesome, dude. That's actually so sick. It's we've spoken at length on plenty of episodes about the discoverability and how, for anyone in less than the 0.1% of Twitch to get notoriety and to get eyes on you is an absolute battle, right? So first, it's one of those things where I guess it's like we spoke earlier about the music with Spotify and with YouTube, whatever it may be. It's like, if they're not going to do it, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Right. And that is that kind of, I mean, like maybe that's kind of what you're building your whole thing off of. It's like, if these 3 or these 4 or these 5 people aren't going to do it, hell, we'll just do it all, dude. Like, we know where the holes are.
Yep. And
right. Like that's kind of, is that the mentality?
that's where the company is thriving right now, is because the staff themselves are gamers, and we know what the struggles are. We live stream, we do music, we do socialize on other networks, what the struggles are. And these big companies are not wanting to fix it or can't fix it because they got board members. That's the beauty about having a startup. We don't have to answer to any board members. If we want to try it, we do.
Right. That's
If
amazing.
If our community is screaming for a new feature, we build it. That's
Right.
our mentality.
So you guys have developers and people working that are like ready, willing, and able to make the site as smooth as possible and make the transition and the discoverability and new features, whatever it may be, they can be implemented at some kind of rate. That's not. It's been so long that I've been wanting this. I'm now on board with the website and it's not working, so I'm going to leave.
Yeah, we've
Right.
actually improved the site quite a bit since we've originally launched. And I'll step you through after this podcast of what we're doing next, and it's going to blow your mind from what you're
Cool.
seeing, what the website
Nice.
is, to what it's going to be here in the next about month or so.
Okay, what's the timeline on, like you said, in the next month or so for these features? I guess maybe this is a 2-part question: is how far along is the website and the platform now to where you want it to be, and then how far away is the where you want it to be?
So that's a question that can't be answered, because we are a technology company that has to innovate and continue revolutionize the way people socialize. So it will never be done, ever.
Good answer. But outside of that, so is there like, but I mean it's open to the public now. Like, it is fully usable and people can sign up and they can start using it right now. And it's, I guess, like you said, it's an ever changing platform. It's a continuously in development. It'll always be in early access if you want to talk about gaming.
Yep.
about gaming kind of features, right? Features. I don't know if early access is really a feature, but you know what I mean, right?
You as the user, you are the ones that are building this network. Every morning, our development team always says, their words is our hands. So whatever your feedback is will be what our hands do. So if you, for example, approach to us with this awesome idea that you want to be built, let's say it's a podcast edition side, where you'll be able to host podcasts and have a podcast menu option. We'll build that.
Right.
That, if we see that there's a market for it and you utilize it, and if it fits within our business roadmap, we will design it for.
Gotcha. That's
I mean,
amazing.
yeah, that's how our tournament system got built, was because our users wanted a place to hold their own tournaments.
Right. So that kind of thing, and when we like the three of us had spoken for a few minutes when we were first trying to arrange this, and you had spoken on the tournament thing. Is this kind of like a Face It, like a GLL, are you familiar with those platforms? Is this like the idea of the tournament thing is a place where people can go create their own tournaments, people can sign up for them, they can host them through there. The idea of that is a place to host tournaments for various games, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
I got you.
So,
okay, perfect.
Whenever a user creates a tournament on other platforms, they have to go to social medias to get users from the social media site to go to sign up, create an account, register their team, blah, 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 to enter these tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
On our platform, they're already creating teams or groups, should you say.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a user creates a tournament, it gets automatically added to the newsfeed that Ryan Miller has created a Halo 3 tournament or a Halo tournament.
Gotcha.
That end results can be taggable. So if I want to tag certain group to that post or invite my friends to join the tournament, they don't have to do anything else besides hitting that join button.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
On
taking
the
the simplicity out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that seems to be what you guys are trying to do, right? It's just kind of take out it's take out all the middleman, right? It's like everything doesn't need to be. You have to go to Twitter to find the artist on Spotify, and then try to find a way to reach that artist on Spotify to see if you can actually play their music. It's like you're cut that all out, all in one place,
Yep.
and then you just go through it, which is fantastic. Talking about the teams thing, when you create an account on Gamerized, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this was as a user my first experience. You create a profile and then you create a team. What's the idea behind creating a team, and why is the idea for you to have to create a team?
Yeah, I guess forcing the team creation right away.
So what's the mentality behind that?
So we were actually testing that feature out to see if we would be able to drive community engagement. But with us moving into the music industry, we are with our next update, we will be removing the feature of create a team or join a team within the registration, and going more towards a profile registration setup.
Okay. So that's on its way out kind of thing, I suppose.
Yes.
So it will be more of you create your profile like you will on any social platform, and then once you create your profile, you can do the whole thing, make it look how you want, say whatever it is, and then if you want to find a team, then you can find a team that's like you said about it's a Halo 3 team, or it's a Twitch team, or it's a DJs, or it's a drummer team, or it's a singers, like whatever. It can be anything really, right? A team about whatever the hell people want to make a team about, really.
Exactly.
And then connect with people through that way. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because I think the team idea is a great thing to have on a social platform, because it's very easy to be like, this is a group of people who like Halo. Bam, done. Mm-hmm. But then being required to create a team, if you're a 14-year-old person who just wanted to try streaming once, it's like, why do I create a team? It's like at 14 years old, I couldn't even spell branding, let alone know what it was. So no, I think the team idea is great, but forcing a team is probably a smart move to be getting that as an option as opposed to a requirement. We were curious about that. We were flicking through the website, just kind of seeing what's what, and this is, I guess, where the business side of Gamerise comes into play, and there's an option to get like a Gamerise Pro account. Do you want to talk about what that is, how that helps the user, why it might be something worth considering, and then how that kind of thing also helps Gamerise as a company?
Yeah. So the pro section is kind of like a hybrid between a LinkedIn membership and a Twitter or promotional upgrade to boost up. So whenever a user upgrades their account, they'll be able to get notifications on who visits their account, who might be interested in their team or their group. So giving those analytics will be in our memberships upgrades. They will also be able to live stream more often on our network, and they will also be able to boost their posts. So if a streamer or a artist wants to boost the individual post, they'll create the post. They will hit the drop down arrow on the post itself and then select boost post. That boosted post will go to everyone that is not within their network. So it helps gain more exposure to that individual or their content.
I gotcha. So then there's various levels of the pro account, and they just increase based off of which level you want to sign up for, right?
Yep.
And is that kind of the idea of where the monetization for the company comes from? Is from the pro accounts, or is it from ads? Like where does the business side of things come into that as far as the monetization goes?
So the business model itself, we've got several ways of making money. The advertisement is a given. We do have internal advertisements where companies can create their business pages, come in and advertise on our platform all they want, similar industry leaders such as Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. We have the same technology within our platform. Then we also got the user upgrades. We'll also have ad revenue for videos. Whenever people upload a video, we'll be able to monetize on that. There's multiple ways of monetization. We're just being very cautious on how we want to do that. So this way we are able to provide as much user experience to the individual members within our network. So we're not overselling the advertisements. They're constantly seeing ads, or they're constantly being forced to upgrade their account or whatever.
I gotcha. At its absolute, if you could, snap your fingers and make your dream come true for Gamerized, is Gamerized something that is used alongside of something like a Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, or is it used instead of Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify?
I don't think it will ever surpass Facebook or Instagram or any of those big networks. There's too much loyalty within those networks. You'll have a lot of the individuals that's been on there for 20 years or 10 years or 5 years that have been grinding. They'll never switch. But I foresee us being alongside them.
Yeah, much like a LinkedIn.
Right.
Like no one would ever replace their Twitter with LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But it's good to have at
the
same time.
the LinkedIn is actually a much, since we've started this conversation, the LinkedIn is almost a really, really good comparable, isn't it? As far as, not that you're necessarily there to recruit for a job, but you're almost out there to make these connections to still form some form of business deal, right? In a way.
In a way, we have a lot of future milestones that will benefit the individual users, similar to a LinkedIn, such as job openings, applying for jobs, or um, being able to apply for sponsorship opportunities with different companies based on your resume. We've got a lot of future builds for those type of features.
So it just as there is a an easy route to reach out to artists and to distributors and labels and your iHeart radios and these kind of things, there's also a way to reach out to companies and to different brands for sponsorships and maybe even some ability to work together or at least have a conversation with these people. Like, I mean, I think we're none of us are too naive to think that every single person can be a successful content creator, but at least if you're not good enough to do the thing you want to do, that's okay. It sucks, but it's okay. But if you never get the chance to even see if you're good enough, that's kind of where it gets a little bit unfortunate, isn't it?
Yep.
So if you can open up those channel lines a little bit easier, make that process a little bit easier, it at least lets people know that if this isn't what you're cut out for, at least I spoke with the people that know best that I'm not cut out for, and they were like, I'm sorry, you're not cut out for it. As opposed to always wondering that, man, if I ever could have just spoken with one of these people that actually knows what they're talking about, I could have done it. And you're always wondering forever, but you never, there's a billion people trying to do it. So, there's just too many fish in the sea.
And what is the industry standards for whenever sponsorship happens? What is it?
Yeah.
How much can a person make off of a following? We've had a lot of organizations that we've tried to team up with that have a decent following, and their prices is basically made up to what they think they're worth.
Right.
But is there an industry standard? And that's what we're wanting to fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is unfortunate. I remember the first time, when I was playing in a band and we first started to get a decent little following, and we were trying to be like, hey, can we actually maybe we can have our next single be on radio and that kind of stuff. It was the first time I realized it's okay, to get on radio, first you need to hire a radio promoter, but you need to make sure you hire the right radio promoter, because that radio promoter needs to have the right contacts with the people at the radio stations. And it's wait, what? What do you mean? So I need to find the right person and hire them because they know the right people, and then the person that they know then gets to decide that maybe our song could potentially get on the radio. Can I just speak to the person at the radio station? No.
No.
That number is hidden
later.
deep in our Rolodex.
That is correct.
Right. It's a weird. There's a weird gatekeeping there, isn't there? I think that's what it is. It's so hard to get to the forefront of any kind of artistic endeavor that when people get there, they're like, I'm not letting anyone take my throne.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll squash careers left, right, and center before I let anyone take a shot at what I've finally gotten. Which, again, I understand, because God damn it, is it ever hard? But you're not helping anybody. It's an extremely selfish mentality, and gatekeeping. I mean, gatekeeping is really bad in streaming as well, and it's really bad in even just gaming culture. Gatekeeping is really bad, right?
And gatekeeping is so bad in music as well.
Dude.
Again, music and gaming.
Speaking earlier about loving rock and roll and punk music and all that kind of stuff, dude. Talk to some old punk who grew up on Social Distortion, No Effects, and Pennywise, and
right.
and watch that person gatekeep the hell out of you because you're a younger kid.
Talk to any metalhead.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Or even these old school hip hop people. I mean, it's in every genre, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's the gatekeeping thing is just it's a horrible cultural thing that, if you I guess that's kind of that falls back to what you guys are doing. That kind of cuts out that, the more people you can cut out from the starting line to the finish line, the more people that are in the way of that, like let the people decide what they want to hear.
Yep.
Yeah, because why do they get to decide who's worthy or not? You know what I mean? Like, why?
That's exactly the thing. It's if I was there and it just didn't work because the people didn't want it, then okay, that sucks and that's sad. Maybe if my music's not good enough, then so be it. That's too bad. But the worst thing is that you never even got to get to the finish line because the asshole at door number 1 locked the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you never even got a chance to get through, to even let the people see who you are. And that's kind of the thing that needs to be broken down. And again, if everyone is on that one social platform, not everybody. Like, I mean, I don't expect to jump on Gamerized and Taylor Swift's independent side project is there, and I can reach out and have a chat with Taylor real quick. But there's a thing in there where a lot of really talented content creators and be it streamers and a lot of really talented art musicians can find each other and work together to build this thing that it's strong enough to kick those locked doors down.
Yep.
Right? That's kind of the thing that something like a Spotify or something like a Twitch or something like a YouTube maybe stops from happening because of algorithms and because of, you need to be so successful before you need to do, as I think, I'm not sure if it's still a music industry term, but you need to do all the heavy lifting before the label is willing to pick you up, right?
Yeah.
It's that kind of like
the vision now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's phenomenal. I wanted to ask one more thing. I'm sorry for speaking so much. I got to apologize to Brant on a lot of the episodes because I tend to ramble when I get excited about something. Is Gamerized built for the small streamer who gets 2 to 25 views, or is it built for someone like Summit 1G or Ninja or Shroud or the biggest of the big, or is it or is there something that you guys have that can work for both?
100% of our streamers right now are small streamers.
Yeah.
There's more power in uniting small streamers in one place than there is with bringing one big individual to the network, because you got hundreds and thousands of small streamers grinding on Gamerized that are wanting to work together and form a team. Then you have one individual that's already famous that is mediocre to social media's like don't want to put that much effort because they don't have to. They're already big. So we see the value in working with smaller individual streamers.
Mm-hmm. So the focus is, this is something for, it's the, I guess it's what's the analogy? It's like it's the villagers rising up to overthrow the king, kind of thing. Not that you want the king necessarily. I mean, like, again, like that. Yeah. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but because you don't want to see someone like a Summit 1G, who I'm a fan of, to be unsuccessful. Like, it's amazing that that person got to the level that they got to, and they've been grinding for years and years and years to get where they are, which is phenomenal. But you more so want the villagers to rise up to overthrow the Papa Bezos kind of thing, as opposed to maybe the user, right?
And, not that we wouldn't want Ninja on the platform. Like, we'd love to have Ninja come create an account and, but yeah, I mean, like Ryan said, there's a smaller streamer is probably going to get more value out of Gamerized versus, just the ability, Yeah, the ability to build your following on Gamerized.
Yeah.
Someone like Ninja, doesn't care if he gets 1,000 more followers tomorrow. But
Certainly. No,
someone
certainly
who
not.
has only 1,000 followers would love 1,000 more followers tomorrow. And so,
100%.
and there's a lot more on that end that, and same thing for gaming organizations too. Like, someone like NRG or FaZe wouldn't get as much value out of Gamerized as a smaller streaming organization would.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but there's something there where if you can find, okay, so this is a platform and you end up getting, let's say you guys get 20,000 active users a month, and there's 12,000 of them are streamers and 8,000 of them are artists and viewers and whatever else it may be. If you can find the best of the best out of those, and all of a sudden you lift, 100 small streamers from 15 viewers to 45 or 65 viewers, you're creating this snowball effect that could really, really do something serious. Like, Ryan, I see you smiling off that idea, but that's really that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where something really starts to take off, isn't it? Like, you find, like we speak about, like, some people just aren't good enough. Like, I'm sorry, it sucks, but like some people aren't cut out to be whatever the content creative career is that they want. Some people just aren't good enough to be successful in it, and that's just like, I don't know, human being. Blame the big man upstairs,
reality.
I guess, right?
It's just a harsh reality.
Exactly,
yeah.
and that's too bad. But if there's a way to find, this group of, somewhere between the 10 to 20 to 30 average viewer people, and they're the best of what you guys have, and you guys can put together some kind of thing that shows that the Gamerized idea works. And then all of a sudden, there's this. We interviewed a friend of mine who's a streamer, and I've taken this into account ever since. That there's a rule of large numbers somewhere along the way, right? Where, if you have 10 viewers, to get that 11 or 12 is pretty difficult. But if you have 45 viewers, getting 46 and 47 is a touch easier. Mm-hmm. Not easy, but just a little touch, because they're like, man, there's 50 people watching this person. Like, what are they doing? Like, why are 50 people watching as opposed to why are 6 people watching?
Yeah,
right?
So there's goes to the Twitch algorithm too, as well, because the more people you have, the more you kind of get the easier it is for you to get seen.
Exactly. So then all of a sudden you boost again this, the 100 best of what you have a little bit up, and then they're all up in the platform. They're like all talking to their chat, say, man, I started using Gamerized, and all of a sudden I'm getting these new people, and they're all great, and it's a bunch of great followers, and I found this dope music, and the site is sick, and hey, you should check it out here! ! Gamerized. It's like
Yep.
There's a thing that could happen there that can be almost this grassroots movement that could start to be like, yo, if you're a small streamer and you want to meet new people where, there actually is discoverability, and you can find dope music, and you can meet other sick people, and you can join this team of people and play in this tournament, and it's like, fuck yeah, this is the stuff that I thought was reserved for just Twitch partners.
It's already in effect.
It's amazing. Hell yeah.
People are already seeing results. We've got screen captures from, I would say, probably 1,500, 2,500 users or so. We've got a crap ton.
That's awesome.
But anyways, they basically show us how many views they get. We've had people within a month's time earn 17,000 monthly views from Gamerized itself.
Wow.
17,000 monthly views from Gamerized to their Twitch channel?
Yep.
God damn.
That's the highest I've seen.
Wow.
I'm kind of excited about that, but
yeah.
Most people they come to a network expecting to get all these views. It's about network. It's about connecting and learning about who people are as a gamer. And whenever you connect in a atmosphere of that, you'll be able to have more and retain more, because they will feel more obligated to say hello and wave,
Mm-hmm.
even for a few seconds, just to stop by because they know who you are as a gamer. And that's what we basically tell all of our youth: socialize. Don't just post. We don't want the me's. We want the
Mm-hmm.
interactions, building that relationship with other gamers, finding out who's the dad, who's mows their grass at
Yeah.
night versus who loves fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the type of relationship that are vital. Grow your
Well, that's how you build your community off the start, isn't it? Like that's how I spoke about earlier about the rock and roll thing, right? It's that idea. It's like you want to find like-minded people to interact with to start off. That's kind of that's supposed to be the idea of building a community, isn't it? It's like-minded people hanging out in the same spot to get to know each other and talk about the things they're interested in without fear of being like, "Oh, you like fishing? LOL redneck." Or whatever. Like you want to that's like kind of the idea. Brent, do you have questions?
I guess to kind of wrap it up a little bit, is there anything that you guys want to add that we didn't ask?
Who's going to be the next president?
I think that's for a different podcast.
That might be a different.
Yeah, that would be it.
Also, we're in Canada.
Yeah.
We're in Canada, so our opinion holds no weight.
Lucky you.
Right? Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for doing this. We really do appreciate it. It's really cool to see these new platforms doing the thing. You guys are really shooting for the stars. It seems like a hell of an endeavor. We spoke with other new streaming platforms, and it's like, why would you ever want to tackle Twitch? But you guys are just like, frig just Twitch. We're going to tackle Twitch and YouTube and Spotify and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. We're just like, we're going to tackle them all. Like, let's see if we can, take the best of all these worlds and kind of bring them into something.
Go
and
big or go home.
I mean, and that's really what it is,
all
isn't
of
it?
us. Why shouldn't we have a place?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm on board with you guys 100%. I hope the listeners give Gamerized a chance and they check it out, and they find something there that's special, because the ideas that you guys are pitching really could be something special. So thank you guys for doing this. Thank you guys for dedicating yourselves to a platform like this. It's something that is needed. Someone somewhere along the way has to break through. Like we said, there are these gatekeepers. There's people stopping progress from being made, and hopefully this is the one. Hopefully this is the thing that does it. Or if it doesn't kick the door down, at least it makes a dent enough to change the conversation. Because right now the conversation is very linear, and it's a one-way street, and it's a little bit boring, to be honest.
Agreed.
Guys, all the best. I'm sure we'll be speaking down the road. Links to we'll put the link to the Gamerized website itself in the description below.
Yep.
On the YouTube video. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to say just before we leave?
Make sure
I'd like to see him upload that album.
Subscribe.
Sir, you like to see who upload that album? Oh, Brand?
Yeah, I want to see the album.
I said theoretical, but it wasn't theoretical.
He has made the album, and we'll make sure he uploads it, because you know what? Maybe somewhere down the road the proof is in the pudding, right? Like maybe Brent uploads it and it's like, yo, this is actually being played in X amount of streams now, and there's something coming from it, and it's like, why not give it a test, right? And maybe that's one of those things that not just with Gamerized, but with anyone else we've spoken with as well. It's give these platforms a chance. I'm on Twitch every single day. I'm on YouTube every single day. It's like, I enjoy these platforms absolutely, but maybe there is potential for something to be a little bit better. And if you never give if you are so beholden to the brand, maybe you'll never ever be able to find what the new thing is, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And we are
Up
working
to
on
everybody.
a Twitch extension for Gamerized Music. So streamers will just be able to install the extension directly from Twitch.
And that's amazing.
So, that is coming. The mobile app is coming. The video section is coming. Everything everybody wants is on the way. So,
dude, if there was a way to, not to like throw ideas or anything, but like as a Twitch streamer, if there was a way to have an extension on Twitch where you could just pick a genre and start playing music from that genre from Gamerized, that would be so sick. Like without having to change tabs, without having to open up a new website, their extension is there. I want to listen to lo-fi music. Lo-fi on the Gamerized extension, bam, and it starts playing.
yeah, that's exactly what
That'd
we
be big, dude.
are hoping we can accomplish with it.
100%. No,
Yeah,
it's
that would be
that'd
really
be
cool.
so sick, guys. Thank you guys so much. We really, really do appreciate your time. We'll be speaking again. There's absolutely no doubt about it, and I wish you guys all the best of luck in the future. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, friends. Thank you guys for listening to episode number 26 of the Hotfix Podcast. If you guys did enjoy the video version of this, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with a friend, whatever you may feel like doing. If you're listening on the audio version, consider following the page, giving it a like, all that kind of good stuff. We do post every single Monday. All our episodes can be found at hotfixpodcast.com. Take care. Thank you so much. Peace out.
Bye-bye.